Hello, and welcome. I did promise to do a series on a concept that is common. Well, let me not say common, but for the marketers, they probably have had it. But for businesses, this is something we need to think about, even for startups. If you're offering product, you're offering services, you need to think through this. And this is the phrase that do not offer me things. And I remember I left a dash there and a question mark. And of course, when you say do not offer me things, the next question is what do you want to be offered? So this I normally use this in strategic management when we're looking at mission crafting, but it can be useful in general business, so to speak. Now, when you say do not offer me things, what is it that as a customer wants? Now, this comes in when you think about what the customers buys versus what they really want. So for instance, when you think about it, when you're buying a shoe, you might think of it as leather, you might think of it as rubber, laces, and all those colors and all that. But ideally, what the customer is buying is about comfort of walking. You want a shoe that you can comfortably walk with, you can attend an event with. So it's about comfort of walking. It's about freedom of movement. So, and that is a feeling. It is not something that is really tangible. Yes, the shoe is tangible, but the outcome is what customers are buying, and that is the comfort. That is comfort of walking with that shoe, the freedom of walking or moving with that shoe, and that is very common. For instance, you've seen in marathon, for instance, a shoe that a runner is used is equally good in determining how fast they will run. Those of you who come from Kenya, you remember the Kipchoge race. There was a unique Air Nike Air shoe that he ran with, and those shoes are crafted with a lot of technology and precision just to give you the right balance, the right comfort, the right bounce. So it is not just about the shoe. It's not about the leather, so to speak, or the colors. It is so much more that customers buy, and that's why we have to be very keen when we're thinking about what is it that customers want versus what you think you're selling. And ultimately, what we say is don't focus so much on products, don't focus so much on the features. Customers are more keen on the outcome, okay, on the pain that the product or the service that you help to resolve. And that's why it has to be an emotion, it has to be a gap that is there, it has to be something that speak to the heart or to the pain of the customer. The other example I may give is about clothes, for instance. If you're talking about clothes, what do we buy in clothes? It's just a fabric. I mean, it's cotton, it's polyesters, it's all that. It's about the color of the cloth. It's about the fitting, the cut. That's what we sell. That is what you know clothes company sells. But what do we buy when we're buying these items? We're looking for attractive looks. We are looking for confidence. You're looking for identity. And that's why when you wear a dress, a suit, and you're going for a function, you have an event, you would also take some time in the mirror to confirm that this dress or this suit is giving me the attractive look that you hoped to get. It is the confidence and the identity that you're seeking. The last example we'll give for today is this homes that I found on my way to work, and maybe those that live in Rungai can tell. Now, they talk about peace and tranquility, and this speak to me because it's just on the roadside, but it's something that as a realtor or a real estate company or an agent, house agent, need to think about. What do we want when we are renting or buying a house? It's not just 4 bedrooms, it's not just walls, it's not just about stone building. It is about the feeling that you get in that compound. It's about the peace that you get when you are within that homestead. And that's why peace and tranquility is not far-fetched. It is actually what we want when you're buying or renting a house. You don't want somewhere where you will not feel safe. You want somewhere where you can go to in the evening or spend your day and you feel at ease, you feel at peace. That is what homes and real estate should focus on. So we'll continue with the next episode with more examples so that if you have a business or a product, then you know how to channel your communication or how to frame your communication so that it can speak to what customers want, not what the product is about, but what do they want? What is the pain? Thank you and keep tuned.